Connor said, with revenue sharing and the college football landscape changing as a whole, is this the end of us seeing long-term dynasties in college football? Yeah, I think it is, yeah. If by dynasty you mean what Alabama did, yeah, no one's doing that. Bama's not doing it. Ohio State's not doing it. No one's doing that. To the point where I think we may have to redefine what a dynasty is. Do we not? If you're expecting a team to go on, let's say, a 7+ year run and they win, 3 titles minimum, is that what we need for a dynasty? I don't know what dynasty is. I don't know how people define it. But however you define it, I would imagine it's largely influenced by what Saban did at Alabama. So forget about that. That's not happening anymore. What is a dynasty? I guess is my follow-up. So I would be of the opinion, if I were to ask the question, no, we're not going to see that. Do we redefine what qualifies as dynasty in college football? Like if we were playing a 120-game baseball season and then we expanded to 162, I would change the parameters of what I thought a great offensive season was in terms of home run RBI. So in this sense, if we're changing the fundamental makeup of the game, yeah, I would say redefining dynasty to meaning something a lot more along the lines of what I've always used, which is not how many titles did you win. Yeah, that matters. I've always found a lot of admiration for guys that just have their team in position for it every year. So I grew up an Atlanta Braves fan. So in the 90s, they win the division like every year and well into the 2000s. But famously, they only won one World Series during that whole run. So the question was, is that a dynasty or not? Well, absolutely it was, in my mind. I'm biased. So the Yankees won far more world championships, but no one ever argued the Braves were better than the Yankees. I didn't. But I thought it was a dynasty only because in a world like Major League Baseball, where everything is built to compact teams, well, maybe not quite as much as the NFL, but still, it is professional sports. To be first amongst your division opponents every year for a decade plus is very impressive. To put yourself in the postseason every year, to give yourself a swing at it every year, that's impressive to me. Hey, quick timeout. Check and see if you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, make sure you do. It's free. It doesn't obligate you or sign you up for anything. It just helps us keep the channel free. All right, back to the show. In college football now, if we've got a program led by a head coach that puts his program in the playoff every year for a decade, if he gives them a realistic shot to take a swing at the title, mix in a couple of conference titles during that run, a couple of top 5 finishes, ton of top 10 finishes, maybe that's a dynasty now. Everyone won't agree on that. I mean, you know how ring culture is. If I could have guys be runner-up 10 years in a row, and I'd have Jeff on Twitter with 68 followers ask me, well, what has he won? Well, a ton of football games, Jeff. Yeah, but where's the ring? He doesn't have one. I guess he hadn't won anything. I guess he hasn't, Jeff. Coming from a winner. I guess he hasn't. So, yeah, I'm looking at the odds for this year, by the way. Colin just put it up on the screen. Do you realize we've got 4 teams with preseason over-under win totals of 10.5. None of them are in the SEC. So we've got Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame. There's no 11.5 out there anymore. It's just a sign of the times, I guess. I always used to hear the olds talk about sign of the times, and maybe that's what they meant all along.